Alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah. We continue our discussion on the Hadith of Riyad us-Saliheen, and we were busy with the Hadith of the young boy who went to visit this scholar and also was studying under a magician. He then came to know that the way of the scholar was the truth, and he started to cure people. Allah Azza wa Jal cured them. He would make dua for them. And what happened was, one of the king's courtiers came to him who was blind. He made sure he gave the man da'wah. The man believed in Allah. He made dua for the man was cured. When this reached the king ordered them to give up their religion, to the point where he killed the courtier, he killed the scholar, and he tried to kill the boy. By having him thrown off a mountain, the boy made dua, Allahumma kfinihim bima shi't. Allah save me from them in a way that you see fit. The mountain shook, and these people fell, and the boy was saved. He sent them out into the middle of the ocean. The boy made dua, the boat overturned. All the king's helpers were dead except the boy, until the boy returned to the king. And this is where we continue with the hadith. And the boy said to the king, you cannot kill me until you do what I command you to do. The king asked, what is this? And the boy said, gather all people in one place and tie me up to the trunk of a tree. So the boy had a plan, and he wanted everybody to see what's going to happen. So they gathered the entire city, the entire community out. They tied this boy up to the tree. Then he said, take an arrow from my quiver and say with the name of Allah, Bismillah, in the name of Allah and the Rabb of this boy, then shoot me. If you do that, you'll be able to kill me. The king did this, called all people to an open area, tied the boy to the tree, took an arrow from his quiver, fixed it in the bow and said, in the name of Allah, by the Rabb of this young boy, and he shot him. And the arrow hit the boy in his head, in his temple. The boy placed his hand and he died. He passed away. What then happened? All the people who watched, they said, we believe in the Rabb of this young boy. And they turned away from their shirk and kufr and worshipping of the king, and they started to worship the Rabb of this boy, who was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From the benefits of just this part of the hadith, we see the strength of the boy's iman. Number one, this boy had a strong iman, a belief, sincere, firm belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it was not shaken. We see how Allah Azza wa Jal accepted his du'as on the mountain, in the middle of the ocean. And this, the Quran speaks about this. أَمَّن يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَاهُ وَيَكْشِفُ السُّوءَ. Who is the one who responds to the dua of the desperate person, and he removes all harms from him? وَيَجْعَلُكُمْ خُلَفَاءَ الْأَرْضِ, and made you leaders or inheritors of this earth. أَإِلَهٌ مَعَ اللَّهِ, is there any other ilah but Allah? Rhetorical question. So it's Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah is the one who answers the call of who? The distressed person, the muttar. This boy was in a place of distress, difficulty, hardship. Just like the Anbiya were in places of hardship, they made sincere dua, Allah responded. Nabi Nuh alayhi salam, he called out to Allah Azza wa Jal. And what does Allah say? فَاسْتَجَابْنَا لَهُ, we accepted his dua. وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْغَمِّ, and we saved him from drowning. So any person in desperation, times of hardship, distress, it's the best time to make dua. But you have to turn to Allah Azza wa Jal sincerely. This is when you have to turn to Allah Azza wa Jal sincerely and beg Him, and He will answer. Allah has promised this in the Quran. A last benefit before we end the hadith tomorrow, Ibn Uthaymin rahimahullah, he mentions on this hadith that it's permissible for a person to do something that may lead to his death. If there is a big maslahah that's going to benefit the people, it's going to benefit the masses. There's a benefit that's going to benefit the masses. This boy, he knew if he does this, he's going to die. But what's going to happen? All of these people are going to become Muslim. So the loss of his life, in comparison to saving all of these people from kufr, there's a maslahah here. So he did it. Even though it meant he had to sacrifice himself. Shaykh al-Islam says, لِأَنَّ هَذَا جِهَادٌ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. This is jihad fi sabilillah. What this boy did. آمَنَتْ ummah. And whole ummah became Muslim. And yet he didn't lose anything technically, because he died for what reason? For the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, to bring people to Islam. So nothing has been lost. Then the Shaykh says, Ibn Uthaymeen, rahimahullah, he says, as for what people are doing today of suicide, like suicide bombing, he says this is not the same thing. Because by doing this, nobody's becoming Muslim. You may be killing a few people, but you are also killing yourself. And so the benefit in it is not that great. So in Islam, we know we are not allowed to kill ourselves. We're not even allowed to harm ourselves. Not even physically can you harm your body. So what about taking your life? This is a major sin. So the Shaykh says this is not the same thing. This is not the same thing, because nobody's becoming Muslim. There is no benefit for the masses. In fact, Islam gets looked upon as an evil religion. So you may be doing harm to the deen as well. So the Shaykh says this is something that's forbidden. And it's not the same that what the boy did in this case. Tomorrow, inshaAllah ta'ala, we will complete this hadith. وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.